Oscar, welcome to the Jehu Garcia podcast. I want to have you as my first official Spanish speaking guest. You're from Mexico, right?
Yeah, right. I'm from Mexico. I'm from the state of Sonora, that is close to Arizona. We're neighbors.
They're neighbors, yeah.
Yeah. I'm located in Hermosillo. Hermosillo is a little city in the middle of the desert.
Yes, Desert
So,
City.
yeah, we have hot summers and really cold winters, so it's desert life.
Yes, I think I never been there, but I want to go there one day. Like I was telling you before, my mom is a native from Hermosillo, and so I've heard a lot. My mom's gone, my brothers have gone. I just haven't made my way out there, but I know the food is great there,
Ah, yeah.
right? The famous
It's class,
tortillas,
world class meat is here. So yeah.
right? Yes, yes. We saw the Taco Chronicles
Oh
in
yeah.
Netflix, and there's an episode about Hermosillo because they have the burritos and
Percherones is that like big kind burrito like this.
yes,
It's a monster.
yes. So food is good. It's a good city. We gotta go check that out one of these days. But you're into electric vehicles, right? What's your official title in there?
The Electric Vehicles Association of Sonora, AVES as we call it in Spanish. Uh,
Aves.
yeah, it's
Aves.
Asociación de Vehículos Eléctricos de Sonora. It's,
Ah,
the
okay.
acronym is AVES in Spanish,
Which is birds,
which is birds.
right? But it's an acronym. Okay.
Acronym, yeah.
What's going on here? This is electric car talk. We can't have. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's like an engine, like some muscle car outside or something. This is the neighbors. Yeah. So you guys have an association with electric vehicles.
Yeah, yeah. We formed our association back in 2013, 2012, and it was just a group of friends who likes any kind of information related to electric cars, electric vehicles, electric anything, all the transitions and all the environment related stuff. And, well, everything with technology also.
Yeah.
All started because some friend of us from Arizona in the TIVA Club, which is the Tucson Electric Vehicle Association,
Okay.
they invite us, and we were like, okay, we can do it, because they give us like, for example, they give us our first tries in the electric vehicles with some Tesla Roadsters back in the day,
Okay.
and with other conversions of like for example little Jettas or little Nissan trucks that they
Hmm.
converted, and it was really cool. And I have been with some friend of mine back there. Jerry Asher is one of them, and Marco Agiola, which for example, Marco Agiola is the main key here in the topic because for example this guy, uh, he has a little company that did some electric conversions here in Hermosillo, and he was quite famous here in Mexico because he has been the first guy, the first person in the whole country to develop his own car. For example, he converted a new new car. So he buy a new car. He disassembled the new car
Oh
and
wow.
put it in
Okay.
electric engine. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
us.
He's hardcore. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
all in. And uh, back then I was in the university, in the college. So we met there, and he invited me to, hey, do you want to be part of this chapter in Mexico? We will be the first one, and I have these connections in the US that can help us. And okay, man, this sounds cool. It started as a hobby
That's a whole view.
and develop it as a, for example, we have this kind of conferences and these bigger events here in Hermosillo. The biggest one were in 2013 and 2014. Like for example, on those events, we have the help of our government also, which is weird because we
Really?
have that most of the time. Yeah. Well, it was like for example, we were like, hey, universities, hey, colleges, do you want to be part of this great event that can involve all science, all these young people in technology, into technologies, and we will have these cool cars in demonstration, and some friend of us from the US will come down here and show them their own cars and their own conversions, and they were like, cool. you can do it in our main plaza in Hermosillo. Really? The main plaza? Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I will show you some pictures later. For example, we have these garages of solar solar panels, and we have, for example, Mexico. Well, back then in 2013, we didn't have too many electric vehicles from the main brands, you know. But we have back in the day, we have the Nissan Leaf, for example, that was
The Leafs,
brand
yeah.
new in Mexico,
Hmm.
and and we managed to, for example, take it like, hey Nissan, do you want to help us with some leaves? And they were like, well, after some calls and back and forwards, they were like, okay, dude, I will be your sponsor, like full sponsor. Yeah, I will be your full sponsor.
Wow.
That's great, man. We knew that, for example, in the US, they have Nissan sponsorships for those kind of events. But in Mexico, we didn't have none because that is new. So we were like, we were the first one. This is a lot of responsibility, and they they managed to ask. For example, they send us from Mexico City to Hermosillo in a truck to New Leaves. So
Oh,
we were the
wow.
first one to see the leaves and was here in Hermosillo in the main plaza with all this media covered. And it was really fun. A lot of
Wow.
universities, a lot of people. We stopped counting people after like 100,000 people it was coming forward.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was huge. And I have a video from back then. It was really great. It was really fun.
Wow. So that was a great event, and it was sponsored 100% by
Well,
Nissan.
it was Nissan and a lot of other companies, but the
Okay.
main one was, for example, all the media coverage and all the, for example, buildings, posters. Most of it was from Nissan, and Nissan also give us the main two stars of the event. We can say like that, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Why?
Nissan.
Because in 2013, yeah, there wasn't a lot of electric cars, right? I mean, the Tesla was brand new. There was roadsters, but I
Yeah.
mean, there's like 2,000 roadsters around the world, so there's not that many. Most of them are in California. Um, so, yeah, there's not a lot of electric cars. It's pretty early on
Yeah.
in 2013.
And we were very lucky to have that kind of response from the media and from the companies here in
Hmm.
Mexico. Because, for example, if in the US you have some issues to find some sponsorships and find some electric cars, like a company, I will give you some cars so you can review it or you can show it them. In Mexico,
Yeah.
it's a lot difficult to do that. And it was like, it was really pleasant to us. Like, oh man, we're all in this. Okay, we should do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Nissan was really in at the beginning with the Leaf. Like they were breaking ground. I don't know what's happened to them now, right? I don't know. I mean, I think their cars are still there. I don't know. For some reason, they're just not in my radar as much. I don't know if because they're kind of ugly or they're not as compelling as the other. I don't know. I never, I should have been all over the Leafs. But
Oh
for
yeah.
some reason, I wasn't. I'm like, I don't know what the deal is. But they were, there's a ton of them. I mean, they produced the most amount of electric vehicles at that time, right? They were the only company, and they were compelling vehicles. Did you get to drive one?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get to drive a bunch of them. It was
yeah.
really, I really like for example, it was my first sight of the electric vehicles, like that instant torque and all the digital panels that you used to have, and it was really cool. For
Yeah.
example, when we did that, then we have some conversions, and I drove some conversions also, and
Okay.
it was really cool to see the difference between the main company did it this way, like with a plant and everything, and some random guy like, I will do a conversion, and you see all these hard wires and everything, all the panels gaps, but it's fine because you see how the interest of the people was to be like, okay, this is my project car, and I will do
Yeah.
it work, and it was really awesome, and also to hear that little sound of the electric vehicles, the fans, it was like, it was really cool. For example,
Yes.
for
The
me,
high chirping switching, right? Of the MOSFETs. Yes.
yeah, it was really awesome because, for example, in here in Mexico, in Hermosillo back then, there wasn't much people to know that that did know about the electric vehicles. So when they start the car and they have a little ride, it was like, oh man. So this is on. It is working. Yeah, man, it's working.
Yes.
And it's fast. Oh man, it's fast. You want to try it? Can I? Yeah, yeah, you can. And Florida, man, oh, stop it. It was like a really roller coaster, and it was really fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the DIY conversion scene was big at that time, or was there was a sizable
No,
amount of them? Yeah.
yeah.
Huh. And they were using lead acid batteries at the time, or they were already starting to use lithium.
Now, well, the cars that they brought to us, and also the some of the conversions here in Mexico was from acid batteries.
Lead
So
acid. Uh-huh.
yeah, lead acid. But yeah, because the lithium ion was so much money
Yes.
to
At that time, I
at that
remember I
yeah,
spent 10 grand
that's a huge amount of money.
for 11 kilowatt hours. That was my first battery pack.
Oh
It
man,
was like 30 miles or something. It's like ridiculous.
yeah,
It was really
a lot of money.
yes. It's like $1,000 a mile, or no, at 10 miles every 10 miles. It's some ridiculous amount, right?
Yeah, and back then you have to be really commitment to do that
Yeah.
kind of disclosure of your money because it will be like it's a huge amount of investment. Just to
Yes.
have a, for example, in if you put it like this, well, if I put it like this, it will be like, okay, I will have a huge amount of money invested on batteries in something that only give me like between 30, well, 20 or 30 kilometers or 10 miles. For example, if you do a little conversion, like a small conversion, only for your city or only for your work. Yeah, it was,
Commuter.
yeah, your commuter. So yeah, it was a lot of,
And even that, it wasn't as compelling because, like, oh, if you forgot to charge one morning, ah, crap. No, that's it. It's
yeah,
like it takes 10 hours to charge this thing. It's like I ain't going to work today, or you gotta call the cab. Yeah, it was some commitment. You had to really be excited about this technology. You had to be an early adopter. You'd have to oversee, like, like not pay attention to all the downsides of it and all the problems that it still had, right?
yeah,
I
it's
was
like,
one of those because I converted around that time, right? But it was like,
I see your video. Yeah, it was really
yeah.
fun.
Wow, that's cool. So now things are changing, though, right? Because now, I mean, there's electric cars everywhere. At least here in California, it seems like there are electric cars everywhere. How is it in Hermosillo?
Well, in Hermosillo, we don't have a huge amount of electric cars, but we have seen some difference from back then to now. For example, uh, more car dealers, they own electric stations, so that's really cool. Well,
Mm,
back in the day, we didn't have any, so
yeah.
that's a good thing. For example, the other thing that came out of after we create Aves and everything with all these electric vehicle stuff and all the cover that we had in the day, it was really cool because, for example, a little town called Santana here in the state of Sonora, in the highway to Nogales, Arizona, uh, they did some part of the parking lot with two charging stations. So that was really cool because they saw that maybe I will have some clients with electric vehicles or uh, plug-in hybrids. So maybe I could adapt that to my own business, and I will have this place for those clients that, for example, if you have electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid, you have a client with money. So they will spend some amount in the hotel or in the restaurant of the
Yeah.
and they were like,
I mean, it makes a difference. Like if a hotel has a destination charger or doesn't, we're like, well, we're not staying in that one, even if it's nicer. We're staying in this one because we
yeah,
got to be charged by tomorrow morning, right? So it makes a difference. Yeah.
yeah, it makes a difference. And that place, they saw the difference and they feel it because they have some too many clients from the stage. Just I have this destination charger. Okay, I will do it there. I will eat my meals there. I will have
Yeah.
my lunch there. And then, for example, all some factories uh, from that place. For example, some of the factories that has some CEOs or directors that are from the US or Canada here living in Mexico. So once they have that kind of electric stations, we're like, the director was like, okay, I can bring my own car in from California to Santana, and
Charging right
I can live here now. And yeah, they work. It works for them, and I'm really glad that they work.
Yeah. So even Tesla has started putting some superchargers down there in Mexico, right? Do
Yeah.
you guys have one close to you guys
Now,
in the
Hermosillo doesn't
state?
have one,
Okay.
but for example, I know that for example in the Baja California, all the down California, all
Mm-hmm.
the Bajas,
Yeah.
they have some destination charge from Tesla, some also Mexico City, I think Monterrey and Guadalajara,
Monterrey.
they have
Yeah.
electric from Tesla. But all the Fiesta and all the Fiesta Americanas, all those autos have destination charge. So
Ah, okay.
if we're in Hermosillo, we have some. We can you can plug it in those hotels, but if you're staying, for example,
Yeah, those are slow, so you take a few hours. So is there any Teslas running around in Hermosillo right now?
I have seen a bunch. Yes,
Yeah?
it gets
The
some
Model
price.
3s.
Model 3s,
Model
S, and
3s.
one X. I have so
Oh, and the X. Okay, yeah. Probably
how
Ys are going to start showing up too because those are affordable also. Semi-affordable, right? Um, yeah, yeah. So it's getting better, right? So there's some cars there, and
yeah, we're
how are people? I mean, it's weird. Like people here, even my own family, they keep hearing me talk about Tesla, 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 and I converted my own car, and it wasn't real to them until they sat on a Tesla, on a friend's Tesla, for example. And then all of a sudden they were calling me, "Hey, my God, these Tesla things are amazing! Like,
yeah,
what is the thing? How do they work? How do they?" And I'm like, "What? Finally? Like, where have you been? Like, I've been talking about this for 10 years already."
it's
And
magic.
it's not until you put them on the seat, right? And so it's the same thing for Mexicans over there. Like most people don't know, right? Most people see them, they're like, "Oh, this is the cool new car or whatever." I don't know what the deal is with this thing.
Yeah.
But are people excited? You think? Like, how many members do you have on your group?
On our club, well, right now we have like it's Marco, Camacho. It will be like close to 5 members. It's
Oh, it's a
really
small group. Okay.
it's a small group. It's just like, for example, we can name it a group of friends,
Mm-hmm.
like to getting out and get some discussions about environmentalists, also electric cars and conversions and everything like that, or related to tech. Yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
small group, but it's really cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for example, getting to your question about how the people is excited here, yeah, they're really excited because, for example, Hermosillo is a farmer's town. So we have all these people from the sierras, from the mountains, that
Yeah.
they were in the agriculture or they were cowboys, for example. And then you put those people on the share in the electric vehicle, any for example, a Tesla or any conversion, and they will be like, so this is so quiet. It's like awkward quiet, they will tell
Yeah.
you. And then they will feel if you floor it or if you start to move, they will be like, so we are moving. Why?
Yes.
Yeah, it's magic, dude. Nah, this is how it
It's
is.
so foreign, right? Because they're all used to some
Noise
shaky,
and
vibrating engine.
yeah, you got some vibrations from your motor and everything. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really change. For example, also my parents and my grandma, rest in peace. She gets to being one electric car. In for example, in at her age, close to 60 years, it was like, so this is real. This is kind. This is now. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. No, this is the future. This is the future, Nana.
The future's here.
Oh, the future's here. All you see in the TV and everything, or your old movies, it's right now.
Yeah. Pretty
So
much. I mean, yeah, when you think about it, it's cars have been one way for over 100 years and then all of a sudden now they're like, "Oh, they're different now." What?
yes,
What? Yeah, and it's weird because like I don't know, have you ever driven on a golf car? It's the same thing, but it's just not a real car, so you're like, "Oh, that's why people used to be like, "Oh, this is like a golf car." It is like a golf car. It's just bigger. I mean, it's essentially the same thing. We're using golf car parts. It's like the same, inverters, uh, the
I
same
love the
motors.
closure with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, But yeah, it all started with a golf car. For example, some projects of some guys in the universities, they started like that with little golf cars, some recycling, and then they put it together and they have a little go kart, electric go kart, or
Yeah.
a little project of electric car, like some conversions, and that was the beginning of anything.
Yeah. 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 That's how it all starts. Pretty
Yeah.
soon. And then eventually gets to the point where there's just a bunch of those. So it's weird that, yeah, you guys already have Teslas down there. What else? Is there like any Chevys? Chevy Volts and Bolts?
I haven't seen any. Well,
Really? That's
no,
weird.
well, I haven't seen the Bolt with a V.
Huh. Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
The
but
hybrid one.
the hybrid one, but only one. But I have seen, for example, what I see a lot of here is the plug-in hybrids. We have a lot of plug-in hybrids, I think. For example, we have some Mini from the BMW plug-in hybrids. I have seen like two i8, I think. We have
i8s.
a
Yeah.
bunch of Priuses, a bunch of,
Priuses. Yeah,
a lot of
Priuses.
them. So yeah, we are getting there. But it's because, for example, in Mexico, we don't have too many options regarding plug-in hybrids. I see that people wants to have a hybrid because the gasoline here is not cheap.
Yeah.
So
The efficiency is crazy, right? Like 50 miles per gallon, something like that.
yeah. So for example, if we have some access to some plug-in hybrids, for example, if we had access to the Prius plug-in hybrid, I think that most of the people that had Priuses here in Mexico, they will change it to the plug-in hybrid one, like right away.
Ah. Oh, I
In
see. As opposed to what? What are the other ones? The just the ones that you put gas on them and then they has a motor and a battery in it. You don't
Yeah,
have
like
access
a
to charging that
little
battery.
generator, yes.
I
So
see. The plug-in hybrids because then you fuel it with electricity as opposed to
yeah, you will have your
gas.
battery and you will plug it to your household and you will have like 20 miles, 25 miles
I see.
of range. But for example, for a town of the size of Hermosillo, that's
Hmm.
enough because we don't have any commute to our work. Well, we will do like, for example, maybe half an hour, 15 minutes. It's not a huge city, so
Hmm.
20 miles, 30 miles, I think we're okay. And it will save us a lot of money in gas also here.
Yeah.
And the other thing, for example, talking about the northern states of Mexico, like, well, Baja Norte, the North Baja, Sonora, Chihuahua, Monterrey, Nuevo León. For example, those states are hot. The summers are hot. So, for example, in this case, we will need to have some kind of vehicles that uh, have some liquid refrigeration in the batteries. Because, for example, if you put here a leaf, the leaf only
Yeah.
refreshes with the air,
Yeah.
okay, of the air in the car.
The
So
Gen 1. Yeah.
yeah, imagine that at 110 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
Yeah, so your battery won't last too long for sure.
Yeah.
You will
No,
have
I mean you live. It's the Sonoran Desert. It's famous for being one of the hottest in the world. So
the second
definitely,
one.
yes.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely the first gen Leaf probably wouldn't survive there too well, right? I mean,
No, even the second gen.
even the second gens. Wow. Okay.
For example, the only ones that I know that have some refrigeration or that have some liquid in the batteries that do that work are the Teslas and also
Hmm.
the Chevy Bolt. They
Yeah.
do. So that's really
I
cool.
think most of them now. I think there were. I think those first generations of cars were the only ones. I think Nissan was probably the only one that tried that, and it didn't quite work.
Yeah.
They degraded the batteries too much, and we know that because on the recycling side, right, we're getting all those modules, and they're
Yeah.
like very degraded. They're super degraded. Like it's not even worth dealing with those first gen
You will see.
modules, as opposed to the Tesla batteries. It's like a Tesla battery, unless they've been in an accident and they're physically damaged, or they were messed around and they were left discharged for too long or something. Like for the most part, you don't get a Tesla module that's too degraded yet, even though they've been around for the same time. I mean, you can get a 2012 Tesla module,
Yeah, and it will speak.
and it's still gonna be pretty good. Like I don't know, like 90% of the original capacity kind of thing. And I think that's due to the cooling. Yeah, because it's
Yeah, that's
they
cooling, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, it's the same in Arizona. If you have uh, any cars without cooling in Arizona, say goodbye to them also because it will get hot in the south part of the Arizona between Tucson and Phoenix. Phoenix
Yeah.
is the hotter cities in the states, so
Yeah.
you will have the same result as here.
Yeah. 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 It's really hot, and so that also takes into. I mean, it will prolong the battery life, but it's also challenging because then you waste all that energy trying to cool that battery,
Oh yes.
right? And so then your ranges get diminished a little bit, you know. And same thing as cold weather,
Yeah, you will have to sacrifice
something.
because of the cooling, but you will sacrifice the quality of your battery and also the amount of the, for example, well, you will invest more energy in order to cool your battery, but you will have a safer drive for that. So I think
Hmm.
that I'm willing to sacrifice that in order to doesn't get any explosions or any uh, degradation of the battery. Like
Yeah.
so.
How's the price of the electricity down there?
Hmm. Down here, well, it depends. For example, here in Hermosillo, here in Sonora, we have some part of the government pays some of the electricity for us because
Wait, the
the
government?
yes, we have some agreement with the government. We can agreement.
Wow, what? Okay,
Well,
it's
but this is
subsidized.
yeah, subsidized, yes.
Okay.
Because for example, uh, all the houses here in Hermosillo, if you don't have any cooling in your house, if you don't have any
Air conditioner.
air conditioner, yes, you will have a really hot summer. You can die really.
Yeah, all elderly will die because it's hot. It's This is like
It's really hot
it's one
here.
of the hottest places. Yeah.
Yeah, but for example, it will depends. The price of the electricity will be like between 20 pesos the kilowatt or up to 50 pesos the kilowatt, depending of your area, depending of your contract with
Okay.
the company.
Does a time of use exist where they charge you more during certain hours during the day and then they charge you less than others?
Yes, between the day, like mm, you can put it like between working hours between 9 to 4
Nine to
is
four.
the highest cost.
Nine in the
9,
morning
yeah, 9 in the
to
morning.
4 p.m.
Yes, but
Oh, that's peak.
a little disclosure. For example, it, it's like 3 times, but you don't get that. For example, you don't feel it too much. But it's because, for example, between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Uh huh.
in summer here in Hermosillo, that's the hottest hour.
Oh, I see. So everybody's running their
On
ACs.
right away, and all the tension cables and everything are like
Wait, so
literally
you're saying a kilowatt hour is from 20 pesos to 50 pesos?
sometimes depend.
Holy.
Look at the situation.
Okay,
Well, it's different with the
that's a
US.
dollar.
Yeah,
That's $1 to $2.50.
yeah,
That's extremely expensive.
it's
Like
expensive.
California is one of the most expensive states here in the states, right?
Yeah,
And we paid up to 50 cents a kilowatt hour. So it's 50%. We're paying like 10 pesos at peak, but off peak at night, I'm paying like 5 pesos.
yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. You guys paying a lot of money.
But this is the thing. For example,
Okay,
that is because if you are not a regular user, that is.
okay.
But if you're a regular user, any
What do you?
household,
Oh, I see. Wait,
yeah,
what does a regular user mean?
it's because if you, for example, if you're a person that just put some cables there and
Oh,
they find you,
wait. What do you mean?
you don't have any
You're saying
contract, they will give you a contract, but it will be a lot of money for that contract. So that's why it's
wait. Is that a lot of road connections to the grid?
some
Okay, okay. So they have different problems in here, obviously.
yeah.
Okay,
But for example, a regular user here, for example,
okay.
my
Someone
house,
with a house and it has service that is
it will be like
legit. Okay.
0.0. .09 USD per kilowatt. So
Point zero
nine
nine.
USD.
So 9 cents
Yeah, 9 cents.
per kilowatt hour. Okay, so this it's very okay. So that's less, right? So that's about half of what we pay here in California.
Yeah, it will be 9 cents a regular, and when it's summertime here in Hermosillo, here in Sonora,
Uh-huh.
you pay half that.
Oh, you paid half.
Yeah,
Wait, you paid half that when?
in the summer
In the summer. Wow,
between
that's
May and October, almost I think May and September.
oh, that's so weird. When people need more electricity because they're running the AC, right?
Yeah,
That's when it's less, so that you don't pay your bill doesn't double up like here.
yeah. But for example, if you put your two tickets of your electric bill together between summer and winter, are close to the same amounts.
About the same,
Yeah, because
even though
one,
you use way more electricity than the summer.
of course, yes.
Oh wow, they did that. That's such a weird thing for here in California. It's like, hey, oh, you need more electricity? We're gonna charge you more. It's such. They do have programs where the time of use thing is to help the grid because there's an overload here in California, right? So that means that driving an electric car in Hermosillo is extremely
Cheap.
economical
Yeah, it's really economical. It's
because
more
you're
economical to drive your electric car here in Mexico than have your gas car.
then have your gas car. What is the well? You guys buy that by the liter. What's the
But
liter of gas?
well, that depends also, because
Oh,
for example, if you are in the border,
uh huh.
they have this like, hey, we will have some competition between the U.S. prices and Mexico prices. So in the border, by liter, I think it's like 7 pesos.
Wait, 7 pesos. So 1 liter is point 0.2 gallons.
Yes, in the border.
So you're saying 1 gallon. Let's see, what is that? Come on, give me the thing. So 1 gallon is 3.7 liters.
Yes.
So you're saying, what's the liter cost?
In
Let's
in
do
the
the
border,
math here.
it's 7 pesos, but here in my city, for example, it's
Seven
like
pesos a liter.
yeah.
And
In
then
the
in your town, in your place?
right now increases to 18 between 16 and 18 pesos, almost 20 pesos,
Oh, I
because
see, I
they
see, I see.
they, reduce-
Oh,
they
okay, okay.
reduce the taxes in the border. That's
Oh, I
why.
see. So that's like $1 a liter,
Yeah,
and each gallon has 3.7. So you're paying about $3.70.
yeah, close to the,
Okay, so the gas is about the same
yeah. It's about
as
the
here in the
same.
states.
Yes, it's about the same. But the key difference is the salaries of the people. So
Ah, okay. So people don't the income
yeah, the income. So for
it's
example,
lower than the.
for
Well,
example,
that's right. Yeah.
if you want to, for example, fill your
What?
tank and you have a full tank,
Uh huh.
it will cost you almost half of your pay of the month. So in
In the
some
month.
some cases, in some
Okay. What is the minimum wage
the minimum wage,
in Hermosillo?
you want to go that way.
Well, I mean, it's just because everybody makes money, right? Like, so there's some people that make millions of dollars here, but that doesn't mean we got to get some standard, right? So it's like, let's start at the bottom. Like, this is the
Yeah, for
least you can
example,
make.
we have two zones of the minimum wage in Mexico. We have the northern and the south zones. I don't know why it's divided that way, but we have divided that way. And for example, in the northern zone, for example, here in my state, we are close to 186 pesos per day. And in the down there, down in Mexico, it's like 120 pesos per day.
So where you're at, it's 126 pesos?
Yeah, down there, down in Mexico.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the wage. So you will
That's
be
$6. That's $6.37 per day
okay.
times five. Man, that's nothing.
Yeah, for example, you'll be closing like $160 per month, and yeah, it gets complicated. If we
Wait,
talk
wait,
about
you're saying the minimum wage is like $31 a week?
close to that, yes.
Okay.
But you
But the
will
gas is the same as here. You're saying if you work, I mean, who makes minimum wage? Like the clerks at a OXXO or
work.
something, right?
Yes.
OXXO is, by the way, those of you who are watching this, it's 7-Eleven. It's the equivalent of 7-Eleven
You
in
will do
Mexico.
it.
It's called OXXO. And the clerk there would make $31.50 a week. That guy couldn't even afford to pay the gas
No.
because $31 gets you, well, 10 gallons. 10
So
gallons of gas. You work a whole week and you can buy 10 gallons of gas with that.
yeah, that's why so too much people like they if they have the minimum wage, they will have like 2 or 3 jobs here,
Okay, that's
to get
common.
yeah, a little
Well,
money.
it's the same to here.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's
like
the
if you make the
same
minimum wage.
anywhere.
Well, and here, and just to give you a little perspective, here it's about $15 an hour. I think it's I
Well,
think
depending on the state.
I think we approved that, but I
I
think
think
that's gonna happen like in 1 year or 2 years. It's gonna jump to 15. I think right now it's still like 12 or 11, something like that.
I
I guess I could look it up, but it's less than 15, and I mean that's nothing. That's compared to like $6, right? So it's at least half of that.
yeah.
Yeah, so regular people can't even drive cars. Now, who who makes who makes minimum wage? I mean, it's the same as here, right? All kids
Yeah,
or people who
it's the
are
same there. Yeah,
yeah.
but for example, we have well, that one thing is the minimum wage, and then you have like other benefits, like little bonuses and everything like that. That
Mhm.
maybe will increase your amount of the your monthly salary, and that will help you. But yeah, if you live with the minimum money, minimum pay here in Mexico, you can live some way, but with a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah, if you live at home, if you're like a college student or something, you can, you're. I mean, even waiters make more than that. Here, waitressing is actually a good job because of the tips here in California. I don't know if that works the same over there,
Yeah,
but
that's the thing that saves us. the thing
yeah, right.
that saves the
Uh, but yeah, that's such a weird that to put it in perspective. Gas is the same price, wages are half.
yes.
So it's about 100% more
But for
expensive to
example,
drive in
yeah,
Mexico. In
right. But for example, if you go to the now to the food market, the food here is more cheaper than the U.S.
Oh, I see the food. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess.
You will have to compensate some.
Well, but here's the crazy thing. So it's twice more expensive than here to drive a gas car, but it's 50% cheaper to drive an electric vehicle.
Yes.
So, yeah, wow. So, an electric vehicle is 100 times more. I don't know. That's the right way to say it, but it's much, much more compelling down there. And so there should be way more electric cars over there, right? Because it's the difference between you being able to afford to drive or not, right? It
Yeah.
it literally could make that difference.
Yeah.
Now, what are the prices of it? Because the electric cars are more expensive.
That's the thing. For example, if you, for example, we can go to Tesla. If you have the Tesla Model 3, for example, that they say, oh, anyone can afford in the future a Tesla because it will be like 25 grand, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. 25 grand in the US, maybe it's affordable, but here in Mexico, it's not.
Yeah.
For example, it's a lot of money. Say almost, like
Yeah.
a lot of,
Yeah, I mean, if you can't afford $30 in gasoline a week, you're not gonna afford the payment, the monthly payment for a
you don't
twenty-five
have
thousand dollar car.
any money for that. But
Yeah.
for example, I think that Mexico already passed some laws about the that some cars, in this case, some China, I think, they would
Hmm.
they will came to Mexico, and they will not pay too many taxes because the
Okay.
government wants to, for example,
Incentivize.
yeah, incentivize the use of electric cars. But
Yeah.
yeah, we get to the same. For example, uh, what I have seen so far here in Mexico, or something that is working, is like, for example, you know that we have this says like ibas a hacer una mexicanada. You will say some your own fixes,
Yeah,
right?
Mickey Mouse. You're gonna do a Mickey Mouse job. That's what
Making up
Americans
or your own
call it.
tricks in order to get forward to anything. So
Yes.
in Mexico, we are
Make it till you, fake it till you make it. That's another one. Yeah.
like, but in this case, it's like fake it, but it will work. Because, for example, here in Mexico, what I have seen is like too many people is changing their own bicycles to electric bicycles. So,
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's smaller electromobility thing. It's real. People can get
real.
around. Yeah, yeah.
And also, for example, in big cities like Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, and also here in Hermosillo, I have seen huge amounts of, well, not huge, well, here not, but in other cities, yes, of motorcycles, electric motorcycles that
Yeah,
they have been, for example, between Uber Eats and GrabHub and everything like that.
yeah,
That's that's a job, and they are willing to expend, for example, $1,000 for to have that electric vehicle for them, and it's really cool because, well,
hmm,
that's a vehicle you can afford.
yeah,
It's a vehicle that only you need for your work to your daily commute. So that's what for example in my own case, as I showed you before,
yeah. You have your little
my,
scooter.
my own scooter
Y-
that I bring to work.
Look at
So
that.
yeah, this works for me. It,
Yeah,
it will give you my, for example, between 15 or 10 miles from my house to here, and that's enough from for the scooter to me.
yeah,
So I think we are getting there. We are
yeah,
getting there, but the steps will be a little bit different because or our financial condition.
yeah.
But yeah,
You know that's weird because I have you seen. You know, I just got some truckloads and truckloads of these scooter batteries.
yes.
And I just made a video this morning, by the way, just a few hours ago, like 10 hours ago or something, where I explained to people why we have these batteries. I mean, we have like 10,000 of these batteries, right?
Mhm.
And so the reason is that like these companies, these multi-billion-dollar companies like Uber and Lime, there's Bird, all these companies, right, are dumping all these scooters on the streets of cities. Is that happening in Mexico too,
Uh,
or not as much?
Here in Hermosillo, not, but for
Okay.
example, in bigger cities like Monterrey, Guadalajara, and Mexico City, yes, they have those kind of programs between Uber, Lyft, and Bird. Uh, and yeah, it's the same problem as in San Francisco that
Yeah,
they
where they're everywhere, but they're running into bigger problems, like this COVID-19 thing with the lockdowns. Like if people are not on the streets,
yeah.
they're not riding, so that whole venture is kind of like not generating any money. So then they're getting out of it. So some of these bigger companies are like, we didn't make any money for 2 quarters, straight quarters. So then they're selling the whole division to someone else, and then what's happening is that there are thousands, like tens of thousands of these scooters out there that say one brand.
Okay.
But now the new company was like, well, we can't have those out there. So then they send all those to be to the recycler.
Yeah. For
And
example,
that's how we end up with 10,000,
oh,
like battery packs from scooters that were perfectly good. And there's nothing wrong. The only thing that was wrong, but is that they had the wrong logo on them, right?
okay.
And that's happening, and it's gonna keep happening because it's still the early days of people trying to venture into this thing and getting. And so what we're doing is we're recycling those battery packs, and I'm selling them. I mean, and I'm selling for like anything. We just woke one up, one model, and we're selling them to whatever. You want to put a power wall in your house, you can do it. It's the battery. You
Yeah.
want to do a scooter, you want to increase the range of your scooter, you just pop one of these things in there,
Put it in the frame of your bike. Go ahead.
put it on the frame. You want to build a big e-bike, like more like a motorcycle type, with bigger wheels and stuff. Throw four, five, six of them. You know what I mean? Like, and then because they're cheap, they're like $50 for these battery packs. It's got some BMS and it's got all this system safety stuff. I mean, it's like a thing that it's a $300 battery pack. Right? You have to buy it new. Like if you have to get a battery replacement for your scooter there, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, like $200 or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Except these ones are discarded because whatever Uber didn't want them. so
Well,
so
okay, you okay? Give it to me.
yeah, so that's what's happening. I don't know if this is happening a lot here, but I know here there's a lot of DIY happening, right? And I'm promoting that every day, right? I know it is a thriving uh, market because I'm making money. Like I'm actually not broke for the first time in the past decade, right? And I'm promoting this, and so there's enough people that are like, we'll make that and stuff. I wonder if that's gonna happen. Is that happening, or do you see any of that happening over there where people are making their own thing?
I haven't seen that here down here. I have seen, for example, like a lot of people in the bigger cities, they're buying some scooters, some from some Chinese brands, and that's really cool. That's really nice. Uh,
Yeah. You know
yeah,
what? A one of my partners had a contract to decommission, I want to say like 2,000 e-bikes down there in Mexico City.
wow.
And so I was tasked with the job of finding a market for them, just like I do here in the States, but in Mexico. And so I was like, oh my God, it's like, I got to find someone down there to help me create the market. If it doesn't exist, then we create this market. We make videos, we do the thing, we show, we build, we start doing the same thing that I've done here, right? But somehow, my compatriotas down there, they just disappeared. Those 2,000 batteries.
Obvious.
So then that didn't happen. So there's 2,000 Uber packs, e-bike packs somewhere in Mexico that are just lost. They fell off the truck or something. So we never got them, right? But they're down there. Someone had them. Someone did something with them. I don't know. Hopefully they did just ship them
Hopefully
to
they did
China.
something.
Yeah, because for many years what was happening is they were sending them to China. Because Chinese are like, yes, we'll pay you whatever. We'll pay you $5 every whatever pound or something. They pay big money for that stuff. Because not only do they get to use the cells themselves, or the packs, and if not the packs, the cells, and if not the cells, the raw materials.
Yeah.
So hopefully they didn't just put them in a ship and ship them to China. Hopefully they stay in Mexico. Someone's making something with them. Someone is using them as batteries to power something.
Okay.
But I foresee that happening in my future, like in more places, right? And so not just here in the States, it's happening a lot. There's more than I can buy. It's a huge industry right now that is happening. Not only it's happening not just in the micromobility sector, but it's also happening in, like with the Teslas, right? There's like all these Teslas end up at the junkyards and they have these batteries and stuff, and
Maybe
the
can be
the leaves.
Tesla, they will change your own battery and they will recycle the old one, so they will make some money about from that. And you will
Yeah,
be needing paying the new one, so it's a win
yeah.
for them.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen down there, but I guess it's not it's early, right? It's kind of early still for that to happen. There's not enough electric vehicles, probably enough to have a thriving community to.
Yes, because I think, for example, in order to evolve to that market with the electric vehicles and everything related to that, maybe we will have to have some uh, help from the government, or maybe with the taxes involved on that,
Hmm.
because you know this and I know this. The gasoline, it will be ending somewhere in the near future. So the electric
Yeah,
transportation is the future and it's right now. But I think that in most of the cases, or mostly here in Mexico, the main mobility will be your own displacement. For example, in this case, maybe a scooter or maybe a bike or bicycle, because
yeah,
you only need to commute one person. So
yeah. It's
most of
wasteful. This giant car with four seats
you
and
don't need your 4 seat, 5 seating car
yeah,
to
it
drive
doesn't
you
make
to work.
sense.
So
It doesn't make sense. It's so obnoxiously um it's like it's wasteful because just think about this. Like I have a car with like 50 kilowatt hours. Like that's a huge battery, like a massive amount. My Tesla, right? My wife drives a Tesla. It's got a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack, even bigger. It's giant. Between hers and mine, we have over 120 or whatever, 30 kilowatt hours worth of battery. You know what it does? It drives me like a mile here to work, and it stays there all day. and she goes 20 miles to her work and stays there all day. It comes home and stays parked. Like we're literally not doing anything with this battery, right? It's like it's just we're using it at the bare minimum, right? And like we don't need that. Like we don't go to San Francisco every day. Can we just rent a car when we go to San Francisco, or we can go to Baja or whatever? Yes, we can do it, right? So I think we have to change that. But you're right. We all need little scooters.
I mean, if
We
you
need scooters to do the thing that we do every day. The
if you
big car, save it. Let's do a share one or something. Yeah.
yeah, also, if you want to travel, go ahead, use your car because it will have more range to do that, and you will be more comfortable with
Yeah.
any area of your destination. But as for the city,
Yeah.
for example, 1 hour driving or 30 minutes driving, why you can you can change that to your scooter or bicycle, and instead of making an hour, you will be maybe doing 30 minutes because you will
Yeah.
not have this amount huge of cars in
The traffic.
with all the traffic. Yeah,
Oh,
so
so you're saying it's an hour not because it's open road you're driving, it's because you're stuck in a gridlock.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
Jesus. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
for example, in LA, how much time do you spend in the traffic?
Yes. It is terrible. So terrible. So terrible that I stopped driving in the early 2010s. That's the reason why I got into this. So you see, I was driving so much in my youth that it was not only dangerous, but I was literally felt like I was wasting my life away in the freeway, parked in the freeway, right? That I was like, I gotta get another job. I gotta get out of here. I gotta do something else. Like I'm
I,
gonna die. I literally die in this stupid freeway sitting here, right?
I
So
was
then I started my own company and I got rid of my car. I totally got rid of my car. I sold it. I'm like, I don't want to even own a car right now. I'm so tired of driving. But then with enough years of not driving at all, you
yeah.
know, hi- you know, then I thought like I need a car now. It's getting annoying asking people for rides just to do this and to do that, right? So then I thought, let me look at what's out there, what's happening right now with cars, and that's when Tesla had just announced the Model S.
Ah, man.
So I was like, oh my god, this is what I need. I need a Model S, but I couldn't buy it because it was too early. I
Now,
had to wait a few years. So then that's why I made this one. I was just like, well, if I can buy one, I'm gonna make one. so then I started the long process of figuring out how to make one, right? So that's what really got me. It's the fact that the gridlock. That's what did it, right? Gridlock and hundreds of daily miles of commuting to work, which is stupid. Like I don't know why I could never get a job in my town. I always have to go across like this county for some reason.
it depends on the opportunities because maybe your dream job is not close to your town, close to your house, and it's like 3 hours driving. I mean,
Yeah.
I get that, but yeah, for
Yeah,
example,
well, I mean, we should always try to not commute, right? That should be a thing that we should all strive to do. But yeah, there's times where there's not possible, right? There's times where
it is not possible in that you have to be forced to use a car, or
yeah,
maybe you can have a kind of commute with a bunch of people and
yeah, share,
pay
ride sharing.
yeah, a ride share, and you will not spend too much money on gasoline or resources. Yeah, we can try different approaches to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, definitely micromobility is a thing that needs to happen more. I got a chance to ride a. It is kind of like like bigger than a scooter, like golf cart size, but it does like highway speeds, and it has like a windshield,
Okay, yeah.
right? So it's like a hybrid between a full car and a scooter, but you're a little bit more protective. It's got a harness, like a 5 point harness, so you won't fly out if you crash or something, and it goes fast. But I'm like, but it fits it's half the size of a car, the footprint. Like you could park two of them in the size of where a normal car would fit. So it's like that's where we need to be moving in. And I know they're weird. They look like these little weird, ugly little machines or whatever, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure cars look weird at the beginning, right?
But
It's only until we got used to them.
yeah, for example, if you remember the drawings of the mobility in the earlier 1930s, I think, in the 30s, You will see this person only in their cabin and just moving around the city.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
Wait,
know.
so you're saying this is how people thought the future was gonna look like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Uh huh.
they really have some minds on that. Like you will be your own commute and your self transportation will be like on your size only, and you
Yes.
will not have this huge amount of space of that space between you and
Yes.
nothing. So
Yeah. Why do we need that giant trunk? It's full of crap. Anything. It's like every time you have a trunk, you just put junk on there, and then you're like carrying a bunch of junk that you never need, right? Like.
yeah. Someone will tell you, hey, what about my groceries? Maybe you can have your card for the groceries.
Yeah. I mean, well, no. There's other things, right? I think people get stuck into the one thing. Like I don't know if it's happening over there too, but here there was a thing where we're all ordering Amazon here
Okay.
for years now. Like everything, like crazy everything, like everything, right? But then it was only weirdos like me were ordering stuff, right? Like,
Yes.
but now with the COVID-19 this year, it literally like jumped that. Now everyone literally is doing that, and not only just from Amazon. Even when you order stuff where you go to the grocery store, now they're saying like if you want to come to the grocery store, it's gonna take a long time. You gotta wait in line outside because we can only let like 10 people at a time or something. So now it becomes a huge inconvenience to go in there. So they're saying like now what you need to do is you need to go and download the app, then you order what you want from Walmart or from Target or from the grocery store. And then you just do it 10 minutes before you drive there. Now you drive there and you get into a line, and then right when you go up to the thing, they hand you your bags and then you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Or and even that, like Uber is getting into deliveries now too. So now instead of you going and picking it up, you just Uber guy goes and picks it up, brings it to you. And it's such a weird thing, right? We're like, are we so lazy and so is that what we're turning into, that we don't even want to do our own shopping? But it is that, but it's also a new way of doing things that, like in this case, we're being forced to, right? Because of this whole social distancing. Um, this is thing that we were headed there, and some of us were already doing that. Like I never go to a store. I hate going to a store because every time I go, they never have what I need, and I just wasted 45 minutes of my life wandering the aisles of some stupid store, right? Where it literally could take me 5 minutes to find it on Amazon, order it, and I stop thinking about it, and then the next day it arrives, right? And so that's kind of like a weird disconnect that people didn't have, but now they're forced to do it. This is happening here. I don't know over there. It might be different over there, but
It's the same, man. For example, we have everything from Walmart to local stores that Soriana and other ones.
Soriana, yep.
You know that name. So you can call them, or you can have downloaded the app, and they will give you your groceries to your house, or you can, as you said, you can pick it up in the store, in the line. So that's nice. But for example, you know that like a farmers market, but in Mexico, that you have your
Sobre ruedas.
what?
Is that what it's called? Sobre ruedas?
No, the farmers market. No,
Ah, I know sobre ruedas is that's what they call them in TJ, I guess, for a while. It was because it's sobre ruedas means literally on top of wheels. So
oh,
it just they come with their little things they set up, and that's the farmers market, right?
oh, okay. Well,
What do they call it over there in Spanish?
Changarrito.
Changarrito. Okay, it's different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
Okay, so the farmers market.
this little farmers market or this little place close to your neighborhood or maybe in the downtown or your city. And these kind of people have evolved also. For example, you can give them a message via WhatsApp, for example, and they say, hey, Don Julio, can you give me some three avocados, two tomatoes, and blah, blah, blah. And they will give you, okay, this is my account, deposit your money, and I will give you to your house. Cool, man.
Wow.
We
So
have
they
evolved, so that's really cool.
yeah, so you don't have to go pick it up. He just goes. See, the thing that people don't see is that it becomes more efficient when it's done that way. Like instead of all of us using our big giant cars that are not very efficient, all driving to the same store, fighting over parking. Here, by the way, parking is like a crazy thing. Like,
Yep.
right? Like it's I mean, the busier, the bigger the cities, the more problem becomes parking, right? And so because then like parking space becomes a premium, so then all of a sudden, but like it's super wasteful. Like it's time. It's you're wasting your time. You're wasting resources because now you're making these giant vehicles. 3,000 pounds of steel. We're all driving to the same place and fighting over the thing just so we can get our tomatoes. Where we can literally just have one car go and deliver all the little tomatoes that we need and the avocados and the tacos and the
Your
whatever
meat,
that you need, right?
yeah, you can have your bags right to your home, back right to your door, and only one vehicle will be served to, for example, get to around 30 clients, 20 clients the same. So that's nice. That's really you will not wasting your time,
That
and
time.
also you will contribute to not to have any
You're creating another job too,
yeah,
because that job doesn't exist, right? Like right now, delivering the little things or whatever. Someone doesn't have a job. You're like, well, I don't. I'll give you, 10 minutes of my time, and then that enough of us do that creates a full time job for a person to now go and deliver, and it becomes much more. I think it's a better thing for everyone, right? Except for maybe us, because now we're not as active. Now we're just watching TV and eating Doritos and
are like
avocados.
Wally movie.
Yeah, we're become the Wally people.
Waiting to say you check.
Feed me. You just open the mouth. Someone's job is to come and shove food down your mouth. Well, that's a problem. But it might be better for the environment. It might be better for us. Because here's the thing: you can spend your money, you can spend everything, right?
Yes.
You can spend your time, but you can never get any time back. It's the only thing that you can never. You could always make more money if you wasted it, if you blew it, or whatever. Time you can't. So you gotta use it wisely. And I think going to the store and I know people love. I know there's some people that love shopping. That's a thing that
It's
mostly
fine.
women do that. But
Yeah, it's okay.
um, but you should do that because you want to. Because it should be leisure shopping. It shouldn't be. It should be leisure driving. Also, it shouldn't be commuting. The commutes are the ones that we should try to eliminate. The having to go and shop, for the weekly, groceries. That's the thing that we should try
If
to.
you put it like that, for example, also all the land that you need, all that space in order to park your car, your
Yeah.
truck, your van, because if you have a huge, for example, building, you will need a huge amount of space in order to have the cars parked there. And
Yeah.
it's a huge waste of time also for the car, for you,
For the car.
because you have your car parking like huge amount of hours by doing nothing and
Nothing. Cars do nothing all day, all night.
nothing for you. They only waste your money.
They waste your money because if you pay $30,000 for a car, and in 2 years it mostly did nothing, but yet it lost half of its value. So how do you figure? It's just
Yeah.
losing the money. Like when you have a car there, it's literally just throwing dollars away. It's like evaporating into space.
I love my car. I like it, but
Yes.
but I know the truth. I know the truth that my car doesn't give me any money back.
Yeah. Unless it's a classic.
Yeah,
A classic does. It's a classic car evaluates. Like, so you can buy it right now, but in 10 years, it's going to be worth more. Where your Tesla's not. Well, who knows? Maybe Tesla's the only case that might be different. Like I paid, by the way, with the incentives here in California, I paid 38,000 for my Tesla, but then Edison gave me three, another company gave me two, the state gave me 3,200, 35. I don't know. It was like over. I think it was almost over 10 grand that I got in incentives and like rebates, and
really cool.
so I paid like around $28,000 for that, right? But here's the thing: that car has the all the hardware that is gonna take to be a self-driving car, according to Elon, right?
Yeah.
And so I, at the time when I bought it, I could have paid an extra $5,000 and have the full driving kit or whatever. It's just a license essentially.
To activate. That's
But I didn't because I'm like, oh, when is it going to be available? Who knows in the future? So I'm like, I'm not going to give you $5,000 for something that I don't know when I'm going to get. And I might get rid of this car, in 5 years, if it's. But supposedly that thing, when it's released, then that package is gonna cost like $10,000, $20,000 or something. But then that means your car that has that equipment and the ability to do that, that's gonna be worth more than the $28,000 that I paid for it.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be one of the only cars in the market that will have full self driving. That's a, that's if there's not competition and other cars
Yeah,
get
but
there also,
then
right?
you have all these from Volvo, Cadillac that are doing.
Yeah.
But I think, for example, the main thing here is that as you're paying for the self-driving feature,
Hmm.
and you can not use it as a full right now,
Yeah.
but you're helping also because they're collecting all the data of the street, all the data of the city, and they will know for
Yeah.
sure any blocks or any kind of situations of the street because ambulances or any ER vehicles.
Hmm.
So you will help to identify anything in your city.
Yeah. No, I,
That's
I think we're doing that with the thing because we have some features
yeah,
on. It's just I didn't buy the full self driving thing that would give me summons.
yeah.
That's the only thing that I would gain by paying 5,000. By the way, now it's like 7,000 or 8,000. I think now it's gone up since I bought it in
Oh
like a
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So I think that's the only thing that I would gain from shelling out that money right now. It would be like summons, which is a thing that you could tell your car. You can summon your car.
Yeah.
If your car's over there and you're over here and it's raining or you just want to show off, you tell the car come here and you tell. I think you show it in the map. It gives you a map and you go come here and then the car alone will navigate through a parking lot and people and the whole thing and it'll come and
You see that in
take care.
real life how it works.
I haven't seen it. No, I've never seen anybody do it.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
For example, I experienced that once in a Target parking lot.
Oh, really?
Dixon, yes. And it was like this guy was, hey man, do you want to see how the car drives itself by his own? And okay, okay.
There you go.
And it was like, for example, it wasn't too smart. Well, it's a smart, obviously, but you will see that the car is like a little foolish between which lines can have or where the street can go and turn left or right, and then it will be close to you. But it's an earlier technology. It's an earlier advance. So I think, for example, when I was looking, that it was like, oh man, that's really cool. That's the future. Because in some cases, if I'm in my house and I have, for example, my kid in the school, hey kiddo, the car will be with you in about 10 minutes, okay?
Yes. That's gonna happen one day,
That would
supposedly.
be really cool.
Yes.
Or for example, if you have some emergencies, for, that for me is the main key. If you have some emergency and all the cars around you have this feature, this technology about communicating with each other, and they know that you have an emergency that you have to get right away in the ER, it will get you a free line in order to get that. So
Yeah.
that's that's my main like wow, that's my mind blowing. That in the future we
Yeah.
don't have to wait in order to ambulances or anything. So your car could be your own ambulance, and your car will advise and tells the other cars in the emergency room that hey, I'm right away. So I mean that's
Yeah. I mean, the other cool thing is that it could the robo taxi thing, right? Because
on the road.
you
That's
can send it to work, right? I mean, like that fixes the problem where my car's sitting there doing nothing. It's just wasting my money.
money for me.
You're like, go work, get out of here. Go charge and then go pick up people and transfer. That's a
Yeah,
weird thing because then you'd like change people in your car, but
yeah, it
you
will be
know,
you are low it now only like kind of Uber, for example. In if you use Uber or any kind of those apps
uh-huh.
that get you anywhere, it's someone's car. So
It's someone's cars. You're getting into someone else's car. In a taxi, you're getting some. Yeah, sometimes it's disgusting, but
yeah,
most of the time it's okay. Um, so it's the same thing. I'm sure you're gonna sometimes get your car and it's gonna be a disgusting mess. But I think most of the time it's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? But the crazy thing is that and also not just Ubering people. Maybe there's gonna be the car is gonna be the thing that brings you your groceries. You know, a car's gonna pull up in front and it's gonna pull up into your driveway and then it's gonna
With the light
honk.
here.
And then you're like, oh, who's there? Oh, my groceries are here. So you're gonna drive over, the trunk opens, and you pull your bags full of groceries, and there you go. Right?
Yeah,
That's gonna be a cool thing
yeah,
when
that will
that
be
happens.
thinking also.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, yeah, you're taking someone's job away.
But you're doing well. Well, anything has a two ways of describe it, right? Because they will tell that the people will say that like, hey, you're taking away so many jobs, but you're also creating new jobs for this. And
Yes, because that guy, instead of driving the car, he can own the car, and
yeah,
now he could be making money without actually having to drive the car. All he's doing is managing a fleet of cars.
yeah, and I know that not all the people have access in order to do that, and also to evolve their own like knowledges in order to evolve to a new industry and everything like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's I think most of the time that's the thing with us with the humans, because for example, uh, back in the day, all the cars were human made, everything, and now we have
Handmade. Uh-huh.
robots, yeah, handmade.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you have, for example, in your supermarket, like this person which would write down all the prices of any kind of the food or anything, and now you are in the back in your office, and you put okay, now the tomatoes are $1, and $1 is everything. You will see all the little screens change the prices. So
Hmm.
yeah, we will have to evolve sometimes, and we will
Yeah.
have to adapt. But I think that it will come more jobs about that. For example,
Yeah.
if you have your own car that will deliver your own groceries from the store, the store will keep having some maintenance, so they will have people to maintain that store, to clean it, to fill it again, someone to fill your car with your groceries and everything like that. Your
Yeah.
car will need some
And
fixes.
even if it's robots, it's the guy that's fixing the robots,
Yeah, the guy will fix the
the
robots.
guy that's programming the robots.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right? I mean, it's this,
we are
yeah,
not,
that
we are not
argument is null. Yeah.
already. So yeah,
Yeah, the null that argument is kind of null. Yeah, it's short sighted. I think I agree with you. Um, but I think it's gonna get better. I'm excited for electric vehicles, and what they mean and how they're gonna change our lives. Uh, I I can't wait to get my hands on a Rivian. That's the
really,
next one.
well, you want to do that tank
I want to
side.
do this.
You're going
Yes. Well, did you see that? There's maybe not an Apple TV. There's that show, Long Way Up, and it's Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman. I just had him last week on the podcast, and they went down to Tierra del Fuego, down in Chile, right? The southernmost tip of South America,
yeah, on the
and they shipped two Rivians prototypes and two Livewire. I think that's what they're called, electric Harley Davidson
they have yeah,
motorcycles.
somewhere, yes.
So they literally dropped them there, and they drove all the way up through, I don't know, 26 different countries or whatever, through all South America. They went through Central America, through Mexico, and then they came all the way to Los Angeles. And electric motorcycles and Rivians.
Oh man,
They just did that last year, and so the series is it just they just released it, and it's pretty cool to see that. Because it's like I've been waiting for the Rivian for 2 years. I sign, whatever thing, and now we get to see it. And there's like they tested it in the desert of, whatever, Peru or whatever. I don't know, all of South America. It's pretty like they were in Patagonia. That's about as extreme and as far and remote areas as you can experience, right? I wish they would have spent more time in Mexico, but they didn't. They were kind of run out of time, and for some reason, they just, they kind of skipped through it. I think within like 4 days or something, they just crossed the entire, you know,
and maybe
country.
they will do some tests in the Baja Thousand.
You know,
That would be awesome to
we
see.
almost did. We were gonna do something. There was a group effort or whatever with EV West, and I think I don't know. Last minute, it just kind of fell through or whatever. But yeah, it would have been cool. I mean, I think maybe it's still in the future, right? Someone's gonna do it.
Yeah, for example, when we did this event in 2013, for example, some friend of us from the US, they want to experience how will be, for example, go from Arizona to, well, from Tucson, from Phoenix to Hermosillo in their own electric cars.
Huh?
And in that time, we didn't have any infrastructure to do that. So,
Any infrastructure? Yeah.
for example, from Hermosillo to Nogales, you will do like between 3 hours, 3 hours and a half in order to get there. Into Tucson, close to 4 hours. And then my friends were like, okay, I have my Leaf. How can I drove my Leaf back down to Hermosillo if you don't have any electricity or what, anywhere that I can connect my
Charge.
car? And they were like, we did this huge logistics only for that commute because they were like, okay, we will have to sleep one night in this hotel, and then we will have to recharge again in this taco area. So it was really cool. For example, instead of making between 3 hours, almost 3 hours and a half in your normal commute in your gas car,
Yeah.
we get around 6 to 7 hours
Yes.
doing the same, only driving. But as they have to spend one night, well, plus 6 hours of that. So
So Jesus,
it
okay,
was a
yeah.
really good adventure, and they were like, "So this is possible. Too many much hours, but it's possible."
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not there yet. You need
Yeah.
fast charging, and you need a lot of fast charging stations, right? I think with Teslas are possible now. You could do it.
Is
Like you
that
could literally
or
travel the
yeah?
states with a Tesla.
I think it's fast chargers or maybe some new technologies in the batteries. Because, for example, the batteries have evolved between the 2000s and then back to today's batteries. So maybe
Not too much.
not too much, but I think that we will discover something in the near future. I I,
I
I want to think that.
I mean, I'm hoping maybe. But you know what? I was so disappointed when I saw Battery Day from Tesla,
Yeah.
from Elon, because I thought he was going to talk about the new battery technology. But he didn't. He
Yeah,
talked about current
talk
technology
anything about that.
and how he's going to make it better. Now, what he's planning on doing is amazing, but it's still not new battery technology. It's the same battery technology we have. It's
Yeah,
just
it's just,
small increments here and there, manufacturing increments, so you can lower the price. Uh,
the
you
efficiency
know,
of the software in order to do a better range. Yeah, I mean, it's most of it is software or hardware related, not
yeah.
the battery itself.
Not
Because
not the chemistry. He talked a little bit about the chemistry, but
yeah,
changing the dry electrode or whatever, that's manufacturing. So that's a slightly different way. Yeah, but you're right. No, it's still the lithium ion battery with like
it's, yeah,
nickel, metal, manganese cathode or whatever, and it's the same battery. It's literally the same battery, just repackaged better,
yeah. For
right?
example, it's like when I used to read about the petrol gas cars, it's like, okay, you have your gasoline that comes from the petrol, from the petroleum in the ocean and your sites. But for example, in Brazil, they use a lot of ethanol for almost
Ethanol.
everything. So
Mhm.
that was a really cool revolution because you will have now your E85, I think is the nomenclature of the gasoline there. That okay, I will do this a small amount of petrol gas, and the other one is a lot of corn gasoline based about
Yeah,
ethanol. So when I was reading about the ethanol, it was like, okay, this is a revolution of the liquid of the gasoline.
yeah,
I I'm hoping that in near future or maybe in a couple of years we will have some developed in the batteries also like okay we will not have to do some too many mining in order to have all the all we need in order to have some lithium ion because mining is also a problem so yeah
yeah. So he's gonna change that. He's talking about um, local mining, right?
yeah
So which is I think is great because yeah, why do we need to bring all this stuff from South America or from
I,
some other part of the world? It's like it's weird. We bring it here, we make the batteries over there, and then we bring the batteries here, we put them in the car, and then we send the batteries back over there, and it's like we're going halfway around the world a couple times before we deliver a product. Like this is stupid, So it's I think the key is fast charging. You know why? Let me just say,
yeah,
we don't need those giant batteries in our cars. We literally just need like 50 miles worth of.
I'm with you with that.
Because if you can charge every 25 miles, and if you can charge in like a minute, plug in, okay, now we're good to go another 50, and you get to drive. Then it becomes a thing where like you use it to commute. You have a battery that is great for your commute, but when you need to travel, no problem. I can stop every hour and charge. Because if you're traveling, let's say you have 60 miles of range and you're traveling at 60 miles an hour. So every hour you just have to stop, pull up and pull over and plug and you're ready to go another hour.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea also because I saw that, well, in some film, BMW, that was, they were expecting to do that back in the day with the i3, I think, because the i3 has a little battery
Uh-huh.
and it put a lot of charging stations between the highways in California. So
Hmm.
the main idea was that you will have a little battery and you will charge every now and then between some miles, like 50 or 50 miles. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a really cool idea because if you have all your, for example, Route 66 that comes from side to side of the states, you
Yeah.
could
I
have,
live right off of it, by the way. Like literally, like that's right here. Uh-huh.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I really like Route 66.
The main street in my town is Route 66. It's called Foothill.
Oh man, really?
And it's Route 66. We have the little bells, we have the little thing or whatever. Yeah, okay.
I didn't know Route 66 until I went to Wickenburg, Arizona, and I was like, oh, this is cars moving in real life, dude.
Yes.
It was really
Uh-huh.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
So if you put chargers down Route 66,
you will have a lot of commute and you will not need that huge amount of battery of space
yes.
and yeah, I'm with you in that. Yeah, it will be awesome in
Infrastructure is the key, I think. But fast charging infrastructure.
yeah, of course, fast charging because you don't want
Fast
to
charge.
like 2 hours 3 hours back in charging your car. You want to be like, as you said, 1 minute, 10 minutes.
1 minute.
Yeah,
Like 1 minute. You pull up, you park, you do the thing. Okay,
you're ready
let's
to go.
go. Psh,
Or
vámonos.
as they used to say, like, for example, if you go to your coffee shop to have your tea or your coffee, you'll be like, okay, I will drink my coffee, 10 minutes, I will plug my car, and then back. My car is full charge again. That's great.
Yeah, it's gonna get to the point. Once we get there, it's gonna get to the point where we're like, oh, okay, so the direct charging is gonna take a minute. How about a less direct way? It might take 5 minutes, but you don't have to get off the car and do the thing. Now you could, while you're waiting at Starbucks for your drink, usually takes 2 to 3 minutes to go to the little thing. Like while you're on the thing, it's got like a charging, like a charging mat underneath, right? And then you're
Yeah, yeah.
wirelessly
Why
charging.
like go back and forward with you? Yes.
Now, wireless charging is not as fast as direct charging, but it takes 5 minutes. But your coffee takes 5 minutes to make, so you know what I mean. Like, and all you have to, there's going to be a lot of that. I think is going to happen, and I see that as probably being the key to this
Yeah.
fast charging that is more common and it's everywhere. And then our battery sizes will shrink. Our cost of the vehicles is going to shrink. Our footprint of those vehicles is going to change. I mean, I guess overall it's not because now there's going to be a million little batteries where right now there's like,
It will be easier to produce those instead of cars because cars you will have pneumatics, plastics, and a lot of hardware, and most of the charging stations are cables, circuits. So compared to a car, it's more easy to ensemble. So
yeah, 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 yeah. So I
yeah,
think,
we will see. We hope that it will change for good.
yeah, no, it's changing. It's getting here. I just had the head of the CCS combo, the CCS, and so he actually designed that i8.
Yeah,
Was it i3?
i3.
And he was and that connection has a lot of future proofing. They have a lot of plans for that, and so it's gonna get to the point where it's at. I mean, they're talking about 400 kilowatt, I think,
Oh man.
charging speeds. Yeah, and then that's the one for the cars. Then there's like a different one that is bigger for trains, trucks, ferries, semi trucks. You know, like that sort of stuff. And that's getting like way bigger. You know, like a 2 megawatt or something charger or something. It's like yeah,
In the cables.
yeah, where they're getting to the point where they're thinking that they're going to cool the battery, the car's battery,
Mhm.
through the station, right? So to cool a battery quickly, it needs big equipment,
Yes.
bigger than that you want to carry in your car.
Uh-huh.
So if the plug has cooling lines, right, and you connect it, and not only are you supplying the current, the electricity to the battery,
You
but
pull it
you're also
hard.
pushing cool liquid,
Yeah.
and then you're removing the hot liquid and then cooling it in a big, massive, heat exchanger. Then you could literally speed up your charging without damaging your battery because you're pumping not only a bunch of electrons, like whatever 200, uh, 400 kilowatts into the battery, whatever, but you're also like pumping like maybe super chilled some liquid thing, that coolant.
They will help you. Yeah. You will. So you will you will have some temperature exchange between your the charging station and your car. Yeah, that will be awesome. That will be
They have
awesome.
that in the plans. They're talking about that stuff. That's a very interesting conversation. That well, he mostly had with me. I guess he did most of the talking. But yeah, it was pretty interesting to see that, and I think it's gonna be exciting. I think now that's all gonna trickle down to you guys. I think you guys are gonna skip a lot of the stuff down there. That is like early version, like early trials and tribulations or whatever. Like all the bugs that we're going through in some of these new technologies. You guys are all gonna skip that. You're just gonna go straight to like a much more
Straight to the former technology.
yes, like a much more mature thing that is gonna work. Like sort of like people in Africa that they never had like telephone, like wired telephones, but now
Yeah.
they're all running around with cell phones. They just skipped that whole telephone era, right? Because they never
All
got to
the
them.
types and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with the internet through the cables, they're gonna skip that because they're gonna get their internet through the
And antennas and
satellites.
yeah.
So they're gonna skip all the troubles that we had with slow connections here, and you know. So
All
it's the
the
same thing with you guys, right? It's like a lot of these newer bugs and the newer technology. It's you're not gonna have to go through that. It's just gonna go to much more mature stuff.
because most of the developed countries that has well huge amounts of money in order to invest in the technologies and in order to test all of the technologies, they will get through all the steps to do it,
Yeah,
and
the
then they
growing pains.
yeah, and then they will only okay, this is free market. There you go.
Go,
You
go
can
with it.
you can buy it right now. Well, you have
Yeah.
your certification and everything.
Yeah. So what car do you drive?
Right now, I have a Volkswagen Jetta.
Oh, you have a Jetta.
Yeah,
Okay, the electric, right?
no,
No, no electric. Oh, that's crazy. Because now there's no Jettas. There's
no,
no electric Jettas.
they have
They're
the
called something else. ID3 or ID.
the Golf, the electric Golf,
Oh, the electric Golf.
the
Okay,
the ID3. Then they will have the ID Bus. That's
the ID bus.
born
Yeah,
again.
it's dumb. Yeah, it's the mini, the whatever, the minivan. The minivan. Oh, I see. Yeah, so you gotta electrify that.
Yeah, I
You
will.
gotta electrify, man. I'll send some batteries. Let's do it.
Yeah,
We'll put some scooter batteries in there.
I put on my scooters, and then I want to do a little bike, electric bike, because, for example, in order to commute more safely for myself, I will try with the bicycle.
With a yeah, yeah. I mean that's a cool thing.
Yeah,
Uh, Especially if it's like a pedal assist, and also you could do some exercise
You will
also.
charge your own way. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the main deal. For example, a one of my friends, he has an electric bike, and he hasn't been using his car in a really huge amount of time. Like he went from his house to our work to our office like daily in their bike, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm saving huge amount of money."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dude. That's why, for example, he inspires me in order to get my
To get this one.
scooter.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's why I.
How far is your commute?
It's about, well, for example, by car, it's around 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. So it's nothing compared to LA, but
Well, I
uh,
mean, no, 20 minutes is far. Yeah. But
it's
what's in distance though?
uh, almost 9 kilometers.
Oh, that's nothing. So that's like 3.5 miles, 4 miles.
Yes.
Oh wow, that takes you half an hour.
Yeah, but it's because the city is not well planned.
Okay, so you live in a very urban area,
Yeah.
and
For example, I live in the north part of the city, and the office is in the southwest part of the city. Well, yeah. So that's why
uh,
I have to cross too many
wow,
boulevards.
half an hour to go 4 miles, 4.5 miles. Yeah, you definitely need electromobility. Yeah, you need a scooter, you need
Yeah,
an
the
e-bike.
scooter was great. For example, the scooter, I did like 15 to 20 minutes to my house. So that's really cool. And yeah, it was safer. I wasn't thinking that it will be safe, but it was safer. So sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and you put your helmet on. You could even get gear, right? So if you fall, you don't
I
break.
already order my how they call it, your jacket with
Yeah, your motorcycle jacket.
yes, because
Yeah.
you never know. You
You
have to
never know. I mean, yeah. I mean, 20 miles an hour is not it's not a walk in the park when you're on the little wheels.
yeah, and you have to be aware about your surroundings,
Yes,
cars,
people,
buses.
cars, right? Like if someone gets in front of you in a car, you smash your car. But if they get in front of you, you smash your hands and your
Yeah,
limbs.
I
So,
have a really cool story. About a week ago, I was driving in my scooter in the north part of the city, and this officer was like, "Hey, what's that? It's an electric scooter. It's electric, really?" And I showed him like, "Oh man, that's really cool. We will guard you. We will be with you all your commute until you tell us." And I was like, "Really?" Yes, because we saw like that truck almost hit you. Ah, yeah, that truck almost hit me.
whoa,
So
yeah.
the officer was really nice to me. Like, okay, man, and he was following me all the way. He was aside me, and it was really nice. Because, for example, even though the scooters are not new,
Hmm.
uh, here in the city, here in Hermosillo, not too much people has them. So every now and then that I'm in the street, they only turn their heads like, "Oh, that's really cool, dude. Yeah, thank you."
Yeah. So you're sharing the road with them, right? You're not like on the sidewalk. You're on the actual road.
We have our sidewise for bicycles, and I use
Oh,
the
you have a
scooter.
dedicated bike lanes.
Yeah, we have dedicated bike
Okay.
lanes, but not all the cities have them.
Okay.
So uh, yes, we have been. I have been in some situations like, do I cross the street or not because it's made some dangerous. But yeah, in somehow, for example, the people or all the citizens here have been working with the government in order to, hey man, we have to do these lines, these dedicated lines into the bicycles and now for the scooters, in order to get our own space in the streets. And we are doing it a little steps,
Little by
but
little.
yeah, little by little. But yeah, we are getting there. I think it will be more.
Are they? Are there a lot of people on bikes?
Yeah, a lot of people using
Oh
bikes.
wow.
A
So
lot of.
it's happening. So people are transitioning to. Yeah, I mean it would make sense if you can't afford to. If the gas is so expensive and and it's
Yeah,
traffic is so congested, yeah, you definitely would
yeah.
make sense.
And also we use a lot the public transportation here, even though it's not doing so good, but yeah, it works somehow. But yeah, bikes are a thing here. And for example, I used to, even me, for example, when I was studying in the college and my high school, I used to be there like by walking or my bike. I didn't use any car at all back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more because of the culture, more than other of the things. Because I used to have access to a car, so but I didn't use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is definitely changing. I think younger generations. How old are you? You're young, right?
29, well, 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think younger generations are less and less married to the idea of owning a car,
Yeah,
right? I think older people are like, "What? I don't want nobody in my car." You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's you don't need to own a car. Like, we don't need to. Like, only if you can afford it. Only if it's like for pleasure. You know, but like, you shouldn't have to own a car. Like, if you don't need one, right? And you don't need to. Like, if you can get around by paying someone else to, you know what I mean? Like, you could probably it cost you less to pay an Uber to drive around wherever you wanted than to, have like a monthly payment. Like our monthly payments are pretty high. Like on that Tesla, it's like $600 a month. You know, it's like it's quite a
to
bit of
rent a
money.
car is really high. So, for example,
Yeah,
for example, if you have family, you can have one car, and that will be it. So your whole
yeah,
family could have only one car, and you can commute with that car for the kids to get to the school, or maybe your wife or you with to your work, and that will be it. So you don't need too many cars.
yeah. Well, not here. Here we need more cars than people. I need 5 cars. My wife needs 2 cars. And we all need to take a different car to the same place that we're going because what if she wants to leave early and I want to stay a little bit longer?
And also your yacht.
First, first world problems, I guess, right? Like that's how it is here in California. It's weird, but I think it's slowly transitioning. It's a good thing, I think. So, not me. I have a bunch of cars. no, no, but I'm trying to do
But
a
one thing
thing.
is that, for example, that you buy cars because you like cars. Because
Yes,
you,
and I have a purpose. I want to convert them to electric, and then I want to rent them because I want to share the experience of electric cars to the world. So it's different.
that's really cool. So, for
Yeah,
example, if you like cars, it's okay. You can have your own Jeep, you have your truck because you like them.
yeah,
But that doesn't mean that you will use it daily. For
yeah.
example, I have my Jetta, and I like my Jetta, but I don't use it that much. For example, I think my car I only use it like 3 times in the month.
Oh, okay.
I doesn't use it that much as some of my friends or family use their own. So because I don't like it. For example, if I can walk to your house to your place, I will do it.
Yeah, I
I
see.
don't have any problems at all. Or now that I have my scooter, I
Now
will
you
the
scooter
commute.
around. There you go.
So I will for example if I need to go to the groceries, okay, I will take my car because I have to put it.
So the scooter thing is gonna be a market down there. Maybe I can, cause see, like that's the thing. I have access to a bunch of them here, and I don't know what to do with them, right? I'm like, well, we'll get them working, and then maybe we'll start selling them. I'm sure, some people will buy them, but man, if we can import them down to Hermosillo and make a difference down there, maybe that's the thing to do, right?
Yeah, I have seen some. For example, I have seen some videos from Colombia that too many people are having scooters in their homes or in their offices. For example, the scooter that I have here, it gets right under my desk. So
Cause you could
it
fold it.
doesn't
Yeah,
take
yeah.
too much space. So it's really nice. It gets to the elevator and down to my desk, and that's it. It will be charging while I'm working. So that's nice.
Yeah, the weird thing is that people are complaining that these companies are so wasteful, right? Like this one, first for example, this whole thing that I told you that perfectly good scooters, there's thousands of them, and they're being sent to the junkyard. They're being sent to the recycler essentially because they have the wrong paint code or the wrong logo, right?
Yeah.
Um, People are saying like, why don't you guys donate those? Why don't you guys like refurbish them, change their thing, cover the logo, do something. Don't throw them away, essentially, right? But I'm like, oh, what if I can do that, right? Because I could right that wrong by buying them as by the pound or whatever they're selling, because they're selling them as like broken stuff, right? But we can put them together and then put them on the street again. The problem is that like they don't fold like yours. You know how yours folds?
Yeah.
These ones are the ones that are made so that people could just drive them and then throw them away and leave them there, and then someone else will comes and picks them up, charges them. That was the whole scheme that was working here, right? But if you own it, I guess it'll be a little bit more inconvenient because it's kind of a big one. But they're not huge. They're like yours is bigger. The ones that I have are like smaller.
Like the Xiaomi ones.
Exactly, like that size. But I have like a couple generations past that.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're better. I don't know. I don't have a lot of. I guess I'm gonna have to wise up into that because I have 2 pallets of those in here right now that I have to figure out what to do with it. And I have access to truckloads of those, right? So yeah, it's interesting that you say that. I think maybe the market is down there. We have to figure out and explore how to get them down there so people can use them, like in cities like yours where it makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
For
Having a
example,
car is too expensive, but maybe one of these is not.
even in the colleges, for example, if you have this huge land of colleges in the States, like, for example, Harvard, MIT, or University of Arizona, that are huge campuses, maybe the indoor students that live inside in the college, they can use those scooters in order to commute to their classes.
Yeah,
So that would be a solution for them in order to commute.
yeah, and that's what we need. We need solutions. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We never transitioned to español.
Now we did.
Según teníamos nos íbamos a poner a hablar en español
Y lo decimos.
y nunca lo hicimos para nuestros escuchas. No son radioescuchas, ¿qué son? Son
Podcasteros.
¿quién es? ¿Cómo se llaman a los que ven los videos en YouTube?
No sé.
La gente floja, los flojos que nos están viendo, no. Los que
No,
nos están viendo.
no son-
Ya, a ver cuándo me toca visitarte por allá, a visitar esas tierras de donde tú eres.
Adelante, representada, y aquí estamos, viejo.
Hermosillo, Sonora. Yo
Hermosillo.
tengo raíces ahí y no conozco. Esa es una desgracia. ¿Cómo es posible que yo no conozco México?
Cuando
Pero no conozco México.
quieras, eres bienvenido, no hay problema, aquí estás.
Ya, yo quiero ir a conocer. Yo quiero ir a ver, a conocer ahí porque si no, se nos acaba el tiempo. Y ya nunca hicimos, ¿no? Entonces, yo quiero ir.
Te va a esperar una coyota cuando llegues aquí.
Coyotas, ya tiene mucho tiempo que no como coyotas y ya hace falta. Y las tortillas de harina, definitivamente.
Un percherón del tamaño de tu brazo.
Ajá. That's for those of you who are watching this, we're talking about Sonora, Hermosillo, Sonora. They make giant tortillas, flour tortillas. They're very thin. You can almost see through them, and you fold them up, and you almost save them for the next day. You're like, here's my tortilla for tomorrow.
And we do big burritos with those.
Yeah, through big burritos. The meat is really good over there, right? Grass-fed, probably meat. Like livestock and stuff. And so, I need to go and pay a visit to my, because I have roots there. My mom is from Hermosillo, Sonora and stuff. And I actually have family down there that I don't know. I think I know some of them that come every once in a while. Through the years they've come or whatever. But yeah, I definitely have to go check out Mexico and then see those things in there. And then, we'll get together. Maybe we'll go check out your thing whenever you have like a gathering or something. Let us know. Maybe we'll do the trip and go, support you guys down there. With
Thank you.
some-
We really appreciate that. Yeah, you're more than welcome here, always, anytime.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, we'll have you again in the future.
Maybe in the next one we can do it in Spanish. So you
And maybe the next one we'll do in Spanish
Spanish also.
for our Mexican audience, so they don't complain. That's right. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. We'll see you.